the low of the zone is officially 82.50 on the micro, so it should be going through 82.50, and it went through, right? Yeah, almost.
It is making a new low in New York. So the overnight low is 26.12.50. It's not too far away.
Okay.
We have about 80 points until it reaches unchanged price. So the gap will be fully filled in about here.
Let's go. I think we are. So the next level is at 66. There's a 5-minute demand zone there. It's very close. If volume keeps up like this, I think we have a very high chance hitting that level. Yeah, and the liquidity void or the gap is like 70-ish points down there. We have a good chance to hitting those targets. We'll see. And yeah, we destroyed the 1-minute zone, so it's gone now. It's not valid anymore. Okay. I would really love to jump in, but I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I'm
no
not
FOMO. No FOMO.
No FOMO.
No FOMO. Not today.
Yeah.
Not today.
Yeah, Nick is trolling even when he's not here. Yeah.
He's just hanging. He loves us so much, Tom, that he just cannot leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna hang out with you guys.
Actually, I can tell him a lot of things and he's just gonna keep on smiling there. That's kind of cool. Like I can say like, hey Nick, you're not really the best trader, and look at him, he's just smiling there. He can't say anything anyway. No, he's cool. He is the best. He definitely won he is good, guys. He won
the trading competition amongst all the hosts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, real pro there. I can call him names all day. Yes, Ricky, I can do that. So no full porting, guys. Sorry, just saying.
Yeah.
Risk management is the key.
That's what Ash constantly teaches us all the time.
Oh yeah.
Right? The R&R, and it's set up to look up. Like you don't need to trade. Just hang out. Sit on our hands. Yeah, the skill of sitting on our hands. Tom, when I was first learning to trade, I didn't realize how waiting is such a big part of trading. I thought you're only trading if you're in a trade, and that's like complete nonsense.
This I so much love that you brought this up because I was in the same situation. I thought, a few years ago, I thought that when we sit down to trade, we must push the button, and this is one of the biggest mistakes that especially new traders, even more experienced traders, are overseeing, and they're not really caring about this too much because sitting through a session, that takes a lot of skill, a lot of discipline, and that's actually trading, whether you like it or not. If you're able to push the button but you're not pushing the button, that is actually trading. That's trading. And that took me so much time to understand that concept. And you're exiting the market. Basically, you never went in the market maybe, but you're leaving your charts by taking the position of not taking a position. That is such an amazing thing, and I like that you brought that up because that's super important.
And how we can learn it, and then to actually execute it, right? Like it's like the next level. It's like we learn these concepts, and then it's like, can you execute on those concepts time and time and time and time again, and to the point where you're not even thinking about it, it's just habit. It's like the next level, because a lot of the things in trading, if you think about it, is very simple. It's simple ideas, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's easy to do. Very hard to do, but simple, hard to do. Yeah.
Exactly. And by the way, if you're not pushing the button, you can still read the market and read the narrative and trying to anticipate, even on a paper trading account, if you really want to push the button, but you don't have to. If you just sit back, relax, and watch the chart and trying to anticipate what the market is doing, technically you're forward testing the market, like what is happening, what is going on, what is the narrative right now. That is actually helping you a lot. That is the thing that's going to help you to get better, even by just not pushing the button and reading the market, like what is happening. So, and that's why also it's a good thing for everybody here in chat to join us here at My Funded TV. So please push the like button, subscribe, share the link. Everyone, I know everybody has some social platforms and Facebook everywhere. You have phone, everybody has a cell phone. Just send the link to everybody. And it's a good thing that we can all be here and share the information, share the experience. Trading is a lonely business. Trading is boring, but here at My Funded TV, the vibes are super positive. That's it.
Yes, type in 1 if you're so glad that we have each other. I know I am.
I'm glad that we have each other, everybody. I want to hug everybody. I really do.
Tom, I'm hugging you. I'm sending you a hug.
I'm so lonely here. I'm lonely, everybody. I want to hug. I really do.
For real, though, when I was first learning to trade, oh my gosh, I was all by myself. Like, I didn't have any trading friends, and you do feel like you're off on an island all by yourself and no one to share your successes with, and then no one to share your losses with. Like, yeah, we get each other as traders. Like, I can say to you, oh, Tom, like, I did XYZ, and you're gonna be like, oh, I totally get it.
Yeah. I was on a high school reunion, and old friends were asking me, hey Tom, what you doing nowadays? I said, let's just skip this topic and let's move on, because I'm not able to explain it to you guys. But yeah, it's a lonely thing. Not just joking, but I told them. But the thing is, there's so few people around. Actually, on my personal end, I mean, there's so few people around here that I can talk about trading, and it's so amazing to share all this info here at My Funded TV. So
welcome, Mike. Mike is new, just joined My Funded Futures and made your first trade this morning.
Awesome, Mike. Welcome.
Welcome. Congratulations. You're in the My Funded Futures family. Glad you're here.
Sorry, I was just reading the chat. I should just say mergers and acquisitions management. No, I'm not going to say that.
What do you tell people, Tom?
Well, there's two things that you can but I cannot do that because I'm taken. But otherwise, you can, guys. For the guys out there, I'm saying there's a very good pickup line. You can just say, hey, I'm a risk manager and I'm managing lots of risk on trading or whatever. So you can just come up with some fancy words. When I actually, anyway, that didn't come through. But what I used to say if they ask me like, hey, Tom, what you doing? I just say like, well, I'm always tell them I'm trading for a proprietary trading firm. So I go up straight away through the gates with the simple answer. And of course, they always like, what is that? And yes. I just say, yeah, I mean, I try to explain them. And then they say, so you're playing a video game? No, I say, I'm not playing a video game. So, but you're basically just looking at these chart things and you just try to push some buttons. Well, actually, yes, but no. So it's just so hard to explain to some people.
It is, exactly. I'm seeing some people say that they're an analyst. I like that.
That's good, actually.
Only Equity says, I just say I am unemployed.
Unemployed.
that makes people shut down the conversation real quick, right? Like, they feel awkward.
I know. I mean, you can come up, actually, depending on who you're telling it, right? You can come up with some cool name for it. There's so many ways to describe day trading, especially with prop firms. I know that, for example, my parents, they absolutely do not understand anything about what I'm doing. All they know is that I sit at the computer and that's it. That's all they know.
Yeah, I hear you. I have a lot of family members that don't understand what I do. They're just like, oh, how's work?
How's work? Yeah, work's good.
Work's good.
Work is good.
Tom, look at this chart. Yeah. We are still melting down.
We're approaching that 5-minute demand zone right now. So there we go. We tagged the 5-minute demand zone, and liquidity void, which is starting at 12.75 on the micro. Actually, it's 12.50, 12.75 on the mini. It seems like we're melting down there. Actually, the London session, if you guys look at that, it created a London low. The London low was actually 16.75 on the micro. So yeah, it did. I was actually so sure, and I had actually two trades in London. I had a beautiful long, but I have a short position too as a scalp. And that turned out to be a stop loss because I was so sure that we're going to go through the 1275, but we didn't. Yeah. But I think now there's a good chance that we will. Look at that. It's melting. It's just melting down.
Like an ice cream cone in the middle of somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is going to go through.
Yeah, this is definitely continues with that trend day idea. An hour since the market has opened almost, and we're trading at the very lows of that hour.
I'm so tempted to jump into a short, but I'm not going to, and neither should you, anyone. Guys, don't chase this one. We saw this happening many times, and this is, again, the best example how I blew up many funded accounts and evaluations. I tried to chase it to a very, let's just say, significant area, which I think it still is, that 12.75. So if you would jump into a short, you know, it could just bounce up there like 50 points in 5 seconds. Be careful there. Yeah.
Careful. My Funded Futures did drop a form. If you'd like to fill it out to give your feedback, it is in chat.
Oh yeah, it's very close actually. I think it will make it through. We're still in the so-called silver bullet hour, so very high chance that we can melt down to that 12 area. And the gap low is around 83, and we have another 5-minute demand zone at 63.5 down there on the 5-minute on the micro. But as much as I would love to jump in, I just can't. And it's just so good. Actually, I'm so proud of myself because I did that so many times, so many wasted energy, money, and time and everything. I chased down these kind of trades. I know it looks super awesome, and I know it looks like it's gonna go down like hell, but I'm not gonna. And I'm actually super happy by not taking the trade, so it's all right.
Yes, there will be many, many more trades. Unlimited.
There will be.
They exactly. Just keep coming.
Gotta remember that, guys. There's always the next best. Yeah, there's always the next best setup. So if you feel like, oh, I missed this drop, don't worry. It's gonna happen again and again every day. Don't worry, it's happening.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're about 33 points until the gap is fully filled.
Oh yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's see if Ash is in the house. Ash, are you in the house?
It's that time already? Wow.
I know, it flew by. Time always flies by, Tom, when we stream together. Thank you so much.
It does.
It's fun. It's fun to stream with you.
It's feeling is mutual. It's just so positive vibes always here with you guys, and I'm just, I feel sorry that Nick is always gone a little bit earlier. I think we need to talk with him to stay. we need to talk to him to stay a little bit more.
Okay, it looks like we have to head out for the day, Tom, but we'll get
to
but we'll get to catch up with Ash later. Everyone, stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Ash is up next. Have a great day, everyone. Bye, Tom.
See you guys.
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Hey, good morning, chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing today? How's everybody's weekend going so far? Very exciting to get back on here with you all. Another chance to gain more conviction in our business. Just going to take a moment to say good morning to everybody, and then we'll get into some of the information here. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's weekend went well. see who we have here today. Good morning, Parmeet. Good morning, Nikhil. Good morning, Deku. Good morning, Mr. Smith. Good morning, Gustavo. Good morning, Billy. Good morning, Bilo. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Abhishek. How are you doing today? Good morning, Mr. Chippy. Good morning, Virtus Capital. Good morning, Jip Smith. The DJ Day Trader, what's up? Good morning, Luke. How are you doing today? Good morning, Victor. Smoke Trades, what's up? How are you today? The Real Donald, good morning. Liam, good morning. Pistol, good morning. Trades by Nicole, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? How did everybody's weekend go? Very excited to get back on here with you all. Another chance to gain more conviction in our business. So let's take a look. We got ourselves another Monday, so let's make sure we get our weekly outlook completed. Let's make sure we get prepared for the week ahead. We'll go through our assets and take a look at a game plan for this week. All right. Let's start over on EU. Let's start over on Dixie. That way we could finish the weekly outlook with ES and NQ because those are the ones that we watched during our segment. So let's hop over here to EU. So for EU, we're seeing a pretty decisive move lower here. And we're getting a move lower below the swing low. When I'm analyzing a weekly outlook, when I'm analyzing a bias, I'm looking at swing lows, swing highs, and FEGs. Seeing that price is displacing below a swing low, you can see the displacement because of the FEG, right? So they created a gap here as they ran below the swing low. Okay, so for that reason, I'm going to look for a continued move lower. All right, so I'll be looking for this on EU. I'll be looking to see if support can be then turned into resistance. All right, so I'll be looking for lower prices there on EU. So head over to Dixie for a weekly outlook on Dixie. Dixie is inversely correlated to EU, right? So it should be moving in the opposite direction of EU, right? So makes complete sense that we are displacing above the swing high here. Was no FEG in this area, but we do have an FEG down here. So same exact idea, just the opposite of EU. Okay, so I'll be looking to see if resistance is now flipped into support. Right, so this is what I'm looking at for Dixie. So lower prices on EU, higher prices on Dixie. All right. Take a look at oil. Oil is currently dealing with an area of support here. I'm looking at this fair value gap on oil. I'm looking to see if this area could provide support for higher prices. All right, so we'll target the swing high here. Very simple understanding. We are looking at this as an area of support. We will look to target this. All right. So essentially bullish on oil, looking for a move to here. All right, so bearish on EU, bullish on the dollar, bullish on oil. All right, let's head over to NQ and ES. So we do have quite the divergence happening here. Okay, take a look at this right here. Right, you have the new week opening gap from last week. Notice how ES is inside of that new week opening gap. Take a look at it here. Furthermore, you can see how ES keeps making new lows, right? So if you take a look at the lows of these candles versus the lows of these candles, notice how NQ is making higher lows. So there's quite the divergence between NQ and ES currently. NQ's looking like the stronger pair. NQ has yet to fill last week's opening gap. Okay, so I'm looking at NQ being the stronger pair. I do want to see higher prices here for NQ and ES, thinking that last week's new week opening gap could act as an area of support. At this area of support, we're starting to get a divergence, right? This would be SMT here. So if this area holds as an area of support, then we'll target another new all-time high. All right, so taking a look at this here. All right, so overall, looking at lower prices on EU, looking at higher prices on dollar, looking at higher prices on oil, looking at higher prices on ES and NQ. Okay, so before we move forward, I'm going to hop over to chat, see if chat has any questions about that, and then we can hop into some intraday action. So let me hop over to chat. And chat, if you have any questions about the weekly outlook, feel free to throw it in chat now. Hopping over to chat now, and we can go over any questions about the weekly outlook. Any questions about the weekly outlook? Any questions? Any questions? Feel free to throw any questions about the weekly outlook in there. If no questions, we could head into intraday action. Criminal that we did not take previous day high. Yeah, so that kind of just shows the consolidation here, right? It's an inside day bar, and it's the second inside day in a row, right? So this is the range that I'm referring to. Notice how neither candle have taken previous day high or low, whether we're talking about Friday or today. This shows the consolidation, right? So when you have inside bars like this, it's showing you that we're not directionally moving in one direction. Explain the new week opening gap. Yeah, you can see it here. So I was pointing to last week's new week opening gap, right? So you can see that last week we closed the week here, right? This is the closing price of the Friday candle. And we opened the new week here, right? This is the opening price of the Monday candle. So this is the gap that I'm referring to, right? So we opened higher than we closed, leaving a gap here. It must be an important area, and that's why I'm analyzing that area. More specifically on ES, right? ES is trying to turn that area into an area of support. And the thing that is showing that is the SMT at that location. So that is why I'm looking at that area as an area of support for higher prices. What is the best to do when there's a divergence between ES and NQ? Well, the divergence is the thing for me that signals whether we have taken liquidity at that area or whether there is strength or weakness in the marketplace, right? So for example, I'm looking at there to be a sign of strength from here because of the SMT, right? You can see that ES took out the previous day low, took out the gap low here. Same thing here on NQ. You can see that NQ did not take out the previous day low, and we did not tap into the new week opening gap. So it looks like there is still strength in the marketplace. So that is how I use SMT. How about EMA and VWAP? Those are not a part of my analysis. I do not use EMAs or VWAPs. Yes, we have looked at EMAs before on prior live streams, but that is not how I create a bias. That is not a part of my weekly outlook. Any other questions about the weekly outlook before we move into some intraday action? So SMT does not create the bias. The way that I create a bias is looking at swing highs, swing lows, and FVGs. So if there is no SMT, then that is not something that makes me not have a bias. SMT is not how I create a bias. It is just a confirmation tool. It is just a confirmation tool. So, any other questions? Any other information about the weekly outlook? If not, we're going to head down to a lower time frame and look to see if there's anything developing for our session. To note, we do have to be aware of the high impact news drivers. We do have some red folders this week. Non-farm payroll is still tentative, right? So if the government is still shut down, we are not going to get that news, but we do need to be aware of it. If we do get non-farm payroll, that is one of our most volatile news events. So be aware of whether non-farm payroll happens this Friday or not. Any questions, any information about the weekly outlook? If not, we're going to head into intraday action. And I love doing the predictions with you all, so I do want to see what you guys are looking for today. Do you guys think, so let's put this prediction on here. I want to see who is bullish and who is bearish in chat. So type a 2 if you think we're going to see a new low of day, and type a 1 if you think we're going to go back to the highs of the day. Chat, what do you think? Are the bulls in control or are the bears in control? Are you looking for another new low of day? Or are we going to get any form of reversal and move back to the highs? What do you think? What do you think? So it looks like we have some 2s, some 1s. Looks pretty 50-50 so far. Looks pretty 50-50. Okay. Looks pretty 50-50. What do I think about your bias? What is your bias? What is your bias? We're going to take out last month's low. Let's take a look where last month is. Is this for like, is this a daily bias? Is this a weekly bias? What kind of bias is this? Because I definitely do not think we take out last month's low today, right? For a daily bias, without a doubt, I do not think this is where we're moving. By Wednesday, you think that would be quite the move, to say the least. I'm bullish, so I mean, everybody has their own biases. If that's what you want to move forward with, then be my guest, but that is not what I'm looking for. So let's take a look. Let's see if there is any SMT here at the lows. Once again, SMT is the confirmation tool I use to look to see if the market's going to turn around, if liquidity has been taken here, if there's any strength or weakness in the marketplace. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. So we do have some SMT here at the lows, right? You can see that NQ is making higher lows compared to ES. Take a look at this swing low in here. Take a look at this swing low in here. So using the same 2 points in time, right? NQ is making higher lows, whereas ES made a lower low there. You see the difference? So where are the inversion traders? Where are the inversion traders? Do we have any inversion traders in the chat? Right, because we have an inversion here with some SMT at the lows. So who would be interested in taking a look at longs because of the inversion? Oh, we're changing the bias already, and now we're looking for new all-time highs. I would suggest moving forward with one idea instead of flip-flopping back and forth between ideas. It's going to be really hard to analyze a position if you have no information to move forward with, right? I mean, quite literally 2 seconds ago, you said we were going to go to previous month low, and now you're saying we're going to go to previous month high. So I would create a game plan. I would move forward with that game plan so that you understand what to look for within intraday action. So chat, what do you think? Is the long a good idea? Yes or no? Is anybody taking the long? Will we go back to the highs of the day? Right, so we have an inversion here. We have SMT at the lows. Who thinks that's a good idea? Who thinks that's a bad idea? So type 1 in chat if you think the long is a good idea. Type 2 in chat if you think it's going to be a stop loss. All right, so the 2 would be down here. The 1 would be up here. What do you think? Oh. What do you think? Couple 1s, couple 2s? Neymar, I know what you think. What do you think? Is the inversion a good idea? Are the longs back to the highs a good idea? I have a question. What is the question? Right? You should type the question in chat if you have a question. Hi, Ash. There was a 1003 breaker on the 1-minute chart. Bullish unicorn and lost. What do you think? So are we if 1003? Yep, this is in fact. I agree with what you have here, right? This right here. Without a doubt, this is a bullish unicorn, right? It has the breaker, it has the FEG, but no model in the world is going to have a 100% win rate. I do like to see what this is correct, right? This is a long position in here. You did get the unicorn, right? There was a breaker, there was a fair value gap, but it hit the stop loss. Right? Without a doubt, there is no strategy in the world that has a 100% win rate. This is one of those losses. So yes, I agree with what you have there. It was simply a loss. Ash, are you in Italy? No, I'm from the US. I'm on the east coast of the US. I am on the east coast of the US. Where's the piano? Well, I sold the entire house. I moved into a cardboard box, and now the cardboard box has nothing to it. There's no background, no piano, no couch, no fireplace. We're scrambling over here. Scrambling. I blame the Trump tweets. Somebody tell Trump to stop hunting my stops. No, hopefully you can tell that's all a joke. That was always a green screen, as I mentioned. I think the people that have been working with me for some time know that. Better yet, it was actually Burke's house. And Burke kicked me out. He said I hit too many stop losses, so I could no longer stay with him. Burke kicked me out. So if the FVG gets filled, isn't that a chance to go long? Okay, so an FVG alone is not just an instant position, right? Just because you have a bullish FVG does not mean you instantly take a long. It's the context that matters, right? You don't just, because you see a price action pattern on the screen, that doesn't mean instantly take a position. If you can't develop sound logic to your decision making, then you shouldn't be taking any trade at all. It's the context that matters. It's not the fact that there's an FVG on the screen. Yo, Ash, I'm going short right now. Good luck. What's an inverse gap? That's what we're looking at right here, right? So this was a bearish fair value gap. These three candles, a fair value gap is a 3-candle pattern, right? So look at this one here. Let's use a different color. A fair value gap is a 3-candle pattern. So look at this candle, and this candle. When the first candle and the third candle do not overlap, the gap in between those candles is a fair value gap. Okay, so let's just back this up real quick. All right, so here is a bearish fair value gap. Right, when you have a down close gap, that would be a bearish FVG. So this is an example of a bearish FVG, a 3-candle pattern where the first candle and the third candle do not overlap, and this gray box, that area where they do not overlap, that is the bearish FVG. Okay? Now, when price goes directly through that gap and closes above it, this is now an inverse, right? They inversed this gap. Now this is an inverse FVG, right? So an inverse FVG. Oh, where did it? Yeah, there we go. An inverse FVG. Okay, so that's what an FVG is. And then when price closes past it, that's when it becomes an inverse. I was told not to pattern trade. Yeah, I do not think you should pattern trade either. I just quite literally said the same thing. It's the logic that matters. It's the context that matters. Please also understand that there is no such thing as a 100% win rate. So anybody that's claiming a 100% win rate, that's for marketing. That's for advertising. That is not a real thing. Nobody has a 100% win rate. So any questions, any information, feel free to throw it in chat. Are you looking to enter a trade? I'm not entering this trade. Okay. When I take a trade, you can see it on the screen. So I do not currently have a trade on. When did you realize you wanted to be a full-time professional trader? I'm not a full-time professional trader. I have multiple businesses. I've spoke about having multiple sources of income. I'm a huge advocate of having multiple sources of income. So I don't think being a full-time professional trader is a good idea. You should manage your risk properly through other sources of income. What about FOMO? You're gonna miss out? No, I have no FOMO. Detach your emotions from a trade. You should, if you're making your decisions based upon feeling like you're missing out, then you're not basing your decision upon the information that's shown on the screen. You're basing it upon your feelings. And that's not going to go very well. How do you control fear while you're in a trade? You need to accept the risk before the risk is taken. You got to accept the risk before the risk is taken, right? So measure the risk, like as shown by the tool here. Understand how much a loss would be, right? If you entered right here and you got stopped out right here, how much money would this amount of movement cost you? If that amount of money makes you feel some sort of way, then you should not take the trade. If you can take the trade without caring about losing this amount of money, then you've detached your emotions from the feeling. You understand what I'm saying? So if you can't accept the risk before the risk is taken, don't take the trade. The daylight savings shift is so annoying. Yeah, so I guess I should have mentioned that. Thank you for bringing that up, actually. In the US here on Sunday, we had daylight savings. So definitely take a look at your clocks. Okay. I have my charts set to New York time. So that's an easy way to understand it. You don't have to change anything. Just set your charts to New York time. Should have brought that up. Very, very good job bringing that up. NQ held the low. ES broke below. Now London low is resistance to ES. Any validity to that? Or is that in the camp of too much info? I'm not going to say what is right or wrong, right? If you have a way of looking at the market and it creates good results for you, then you should keep moving forward with that idea. You understand what I'm saying? There is no right or wrong. You either make money or lose money. Right? So if you made money on that idea that you just put in there, right? Then who's to tell you that's wrong? Ash, do you use new week opening gaps as a draw on liquidity? A new week opening gap is an important location. Yes. So during the analysis, that's what I had showed you on the higher time frame, right? I was analyzing for the weekly outlook the new week opening gap. So you can see here that ES is trying to find support from the new week opening gap. You can see here on NQ that we have not even tested the new week opening gap. Right? So that shows a cracking correlation here. NQ's making higher highs and higher lows, while ES made a lower low into the new week opening gap. That's a cracking correlation. Yes, that is correct. The actual new week opening gap is from the closing price of the last week to the opening price of the new week, without a doubt. The entire gap would be highlighted like this, without a doubt. I was just pointing to the area that's been filled, right? This ES filled this area here. If you're going to highlight it, you would highlight the entire thing. Okay. Any other questions? Any other information? Feel free to throw it in chat. Yes, you can use silver with gold as SMT. Yes. Hey, Ash, is gold correlated with NQ? I do not look at that correlation. That is not something that I look at. How long did it take you to decide red and green sticks are not your thing? That's been I changed my colors quite a long time ago. A few years ago. Do you look at VIX? No, VIX is not something that I pay attention to. VIX is not something that I pay attention to. Ash, if you could go back in time, would you pick a different side hustle rather than trading? I definitely wouldn't call this a side hustle. This is definitely a main business. This is something that I focus on quite literally every single day. And even if you want to consider it a side hustle, no, I wouldn't. The fact that there is an uncapped potential here, that's not something you get in many different industries. Right? Like if you go apply for a job, you're going to be capped to the salary that they give you. You don't get to decide that on your own. So still looking to see if we get a bounce here. Not much movement during my session. We've just been consolidating since I've got on here. Can we see your chats? Yes, we can. I see your comment right there. Hello, how are you? Again, I understand new week opening gap as the close of Friday to the opening of Sunday. That is exactly what I said, right? The closing price of last week to the opening price of this week. Okay, ready? So here's the new week opening gap. We closed last week's Friday candle right here. Maybe the miscommunication is I'm pointing to last week's new week opening gap. Maybe that's where the confusion is. I'm currently analyzing last week's new week opening gap. But when you're looking at a new week opening gap, it is from the closing price of Friday to the opening price of the new week. Right, so here would be last week's new week opening gap. Okay. Hey, Ash, what's up? Hey, Adam, how are you doing today? Everything is going good over here. Happy to get another new week started. Another chance to gain more conviction in our business. I hope all is well with you. Hope your week is starting off well. I like that you repeat the same info every day. It really drills things into my brain. So I just don't have like hundreds of different ways to trade, right? So I create a system and I follow the system. That is what shows me what is and isn't a trade. I'm not going to sit here and say that that is right or wrong, but that is my experience and that is what has helped me in my trading. So that's why I do that for myself. There's no one way to trade. There's millions of different ways to trade. So if you have a different way of trading, that's completely okay. Whatever makes you money is what you should move forward with. But that is how I approach my trading. So that is why you hear me repeat myself quite often. Ash, do you use any additional confluences when entering a trade? So time is the most important thing. I like to participate during New York Open, right? That's the first thing. I want to see equal highs or equal lows. That's one of the best forms of draw on liquidity. And lastly is SMT, right? Or a crack in correlation, a divergence, right? The divergence is what helps you see strength or weakness in the marketplace. So those are the things that I look for in terms of confluences. So still a lot of whole lot of nothing for my session so far. We just been consolidating ever since I got on here. The information hasn't changed on my end. Still just waiting and watching. So any questions, any information? I got another 15 minutes on here with you all. If you're finding any value in the community, if you're finding any value in any of the giveaways or any of the hosts, like the stream, sub to the channel, turn the notifications on. We're going to continue to keep working and learning every single week. Ash, do you take trades after 11? Yes. So I focus from 9:30 to 11:30. That is when I focus. see if oil's finally getting some kind of bounce from the area of support. It's trying to. Ash, do you like steaks? I love steak. I actually had steak for dinner this past weekend, and it was phenomenal. I don't know if you all have Costco near you. Right, so Costco. What is Costco's ticker? Cost. There you go. I don't know if you guys have Costco near you, but man, I got a really good steak from Costco this past weekend, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. Go figure, these guys pump out new all-time highs year after year. Because, man, they got some good deals. I mean, buying in bulk, right? Buying in bulk is the way to go. That's where we get our protein for that reason, right? Like you get protein from your normal food store and it's double the price because you don't buy in bulk. So buy in bulk, you'll get better deals, I'm telling you. Yeah, the samples too. You walk around and you're shopping and you're like, you get like a buffet of different samples. I love that. Cast iron or stainless steel? No, I threw it on the grill. I grilled it outside. It's perfect temperature to be grilling right now. So throw it on the grill. Grill master, yeah. I'm trying to become the grill master. Might have to go get a steak after this. You guys aren't making it any better. Now I'm getting hungry. If price breaks above the 10.05 to 10.10 candle, would you consider it a unicorn? So yeah, that would be the breaker block, but look at all this consolidation. Why would you even consider that? Right, so what I'm trying to say here is, let's take a look at a short position that occurred here at New York Open. Take a look at this real quick. Ready? This is what I would want to see in terms of taking a position, right? So this is a short position, so it's the opposite of the long that you're referring to, but it's the point that I'm trying to make here. It's very quick, right? We made a swing high, we made a swing low. We made a new high, and then we made a new low, right? It took very little amount of candles to create that, right? So let's take a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Maybe 8, 9. Took 9 candles to create this breaker plus FVG. Right, so this is something that I would want to execute. Also, just notice the shape of it, right? You have a swing high, you have a swing low, a new high, then a new low. Right, so it's very quick, very decisive. There's not multiple swing points. It's just one swing high, one swing low, one new high, one new low. Okay, now compare that to what we're currently dealing with. Take a look at this. I know that we're on the 5 minute, so let's get back on the 5 minute. But what is this, right? So you get a swing low, you get a swing high, you get a new low, and now look at all this chopping.
No, they had me pissed on. It was a fire hot.
So take a look at the difference. Look at this. This is what we're currently getting.
I'm going to cancel my code.
This is what I would want to execute for a long.
If you're doing that to people.
Do you see the difference here? Just give me a second, chat. I'm waiting for the back end. All right, so I was just trying to answer the individual's question about whether this is a good idea or not. Using this as a breaker. Just trying to answer this individual's question, and then it looks like Myth and Barbie are coming up next. Right, so what I was saying there was I would not use it, and this is the reason why right here. Right, when I'm looking to execute a long position, all I want is one swing low, one swing high, one new low, one new high. This looks very decisive. This looks very decisive. This does not. Right? So this is what we're currently getting. Right? Let's go back to the price action now. Look at all this consolidation right here. Let me get all these drawings off. Look at all, this is the consolidation that's an issue. Right? We're clearly not moving in one direction. For that reason, I would not be considering this here. It's not decisive. We are literally consolidating. Okay? So, no, I would not use this for that reason. But last couple minutes here before the next host show up.
Audio, yes.
Let me know if you have any last questions or comments. Was the 5-minute inversion an A+ setup? I don't trade inversion, so I'm not going to talk on that. I'm not going to provide information that I don't have. So trying to call this an A+ setup, this is just not the model that I trade. So I'm not going to sit here and say whether that's A+, B+, C+. I don't trade that model. When I was pointing to it, I was asking chat if there was any inversion traders in the chat. I was trying to develop a conversation to see if anybody in here uses that model. So you always look at momentum and volume before taking your trades. I don't look at volume, right? So as you can see, I don't have any type of volume indicator on the chart. It is just a plain chart. Momentum, yes, but momentum in the form of price action, not volume. I look at price action. What do you want to see the market do in order for you to have an A+ setup? I would like to have a very clear bias from the daily time frame. I would like to be executing during New York Open. I would like to have equal highs or equal lows as a draw on liquidity. I would like to have SMT confirm the idea and then have my entry function presented.
I'm unmuted.
Alrighty, chat. That is the end of my segment. Definitely stick around for Barbie and Myth. They are coming up next. Throw a bunch of W's in chat for them, and I'm going to hand the mic over to them. I hope you all have a good day. I will see you all tomorrow.
Howdy. I'm not sure exactly when we're on here.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, I think we're there. We got it.
Are we on? I gotta get the chat up.
Chat, we're here. We've arrived.
Let's get the chat so we can see it and talk to them. There we go. I see them. How's everybody today? How you doing there, Barbie? How was your weekend?
Good, you gotta unmute YouTube a little bit.
Me?
Yeah,
Unmute YouTube.
just for a sec.
What? I don't have YouTube muted.
Oh, there it goes. We had a song playing. I didn't get to hear it all. I'll send it to you later.
Oh, okay. So I can hear the song. I was like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll hear it later.
We had a little bit of a audio transition craziness, but we both made it, so we're here.
It's all good.
We'll replay it again later. So, yeah, little chaotic morning, but we're here now. What have you been up to? I ended up catching a little bit of this long. I missed the entire short. I was doing other stuff. Missed the entire thing.
Yeah, I was stuck in the long the entire time we were selling down, so we did catch a little bit of it, but not much. So trying to move things around so I can see here. But anyways, where did that go? I don't see my tab now.
I had to rearrange my screens a little bit too. But I did end up getting in this long, and it is kind of working out here. I've got a lot going on my screen too.
Yeah, we kind of created a little range this so far right now.
Yeah, I was just still watching that 6850 from last week. I played that area last week too, so we've now made 3 touches down there. We keep bouncing every single time we hit it. So my whole idea was 6900's been such a magnetic, serious level, and I think we're kind of going back there.
Yeah, that looked good. That was a nice bounce right off the 50 there for sure. I had the 51 marked out. I didn't take a trade there. I took a little long once we kind of held that bottom there. ES Nasdaq swept the low quickly and ES didn't. I took a little stab there long off that level. I'm still looking at the previous day close down there at 983. It's going to be my next level of interest to maybe stab long and just kind of go from there. We're obviously like almost 100 points away from that.
I'm about to take some profits on ES here. Just barely missed my target before, so there we go. Second trim. And basically what I'm looking for, since we got this bounce off of the 6850 so cleanly, I just have a Fibonacci on my chart right now, and so I was taking profits at the midway.
Right.
And then I'm going to leave a runner all the way up to 6900. Why not?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I like that level.
I was going to say, I hope you're leaving a runner because it looks like we should be able to get there. I've got 88.93 and then 69.07 marked out as some key levels there. So we'll see kind of what happens. It just pushed above the VWAP as well there.
Yep, I like that. Nasdaq's lagging a little bit though. Maybe we'll still get that action on Nasdaq. I'm not sure.
Yeah, still hanging below the VWAP for now, but it'll probably eventually catch up. We shall see. So how was your weekend? What'd you do over the weekend? How'd the trick-or-treating go?
I had such a busy weekend. Like I got home late last night, so I'm still like playing catch up a little bit this morning because we had Halloween. So that was Friday night, got home late, and then I had to get up early, go to Circuit of the Americas because we had a car show and race to do there. I got to drive one of my cars on the track, so that was awesome.
Nice.
And then yesterday, I've just been playing Austin Tourist all weekend. And then we were back in Austin again for the MLS game, the Austin FC versus LA Galaxy. That did not exactly go well, but it was still fun because we got to go into a suite, and so we got food and everything we wanted up there. So it was a good time.
Did you catch any of the World Series or any football games?
So I was trying to watch the UT game, but we were literally on the racetrack, and I wasn't really watching. So I was just listening to it on the radio. Got a little bit of Premier League, but not very much football at all.
Yeah, it looks like they played pretty well in the first, 2-3 quarters, and then kind of, held on at the end.
Yeah. I guess Georgia had an exciting game too, though.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game. Yeah, I knew that it was going to be a tough game. A lot of people are like, oh, we're going to blow them out. I'm like, you're insane. No, they're going to come out inspired, and play good football. That's what they did. So don't talk about the World Series. I'm from Toronto. It still hurts. Yeah.
Eek.
I still haven't forgiven Toronto from the 91 series though. If you're old enough to know. That was against the Braves. Bull Barbie's like, what? What happened?
Don't really follow the stick ball that much.
She called it stick ball. I love it.
I watched. I was a Nolan Ryan fan. I was watching Nolan Ryan back in the day, but.
Oh yeah, I used to have a ton of Nolan Ryan cards.
I did too. Like right before baseball cards got cool again, I got rid of everything.
Yeah, I can't find my stuff. I don't know where it is. It's probably packed up somewhere. That's how it goes.
Yeah, we were moving and I had a small collection, and my husband had like all of his grandfather's cards that were pretty much worthless too. I was like, we just can't keep moving all this stuff. And then the next year, cards were worth something again. That's
how it goes. So, Yeah, ES is kind of like glued to that 77 level. We rejected here twice already. I wonder if it's going to kind of do it again or not. Is it going to hold above there and go? So I was kind of looking for the reclaim of the 77, get above VWAP there on ES to kind of take a stab long. It did that. So I did jump in with one micro, but it's not necessarily the reaction I was looking for. It could continue higher. It could turn back down lower. Who knows? I'd be comfortable holding this through the previous day close. So we'll see kind of what happens.
I'm still just hanging out for 6,900 now. I'm used to seeing a little preview of your screen up here bigger too. We have to get used to this.
Yeah, you just have to watch it. Oh, there's my dog. He's barking.
What did I do?
Tell them I'm here. All right, man. I'll tell him. He's here. That's a good reaction there on the ES. I think you get your TP now on this push here.
Yeah, I was kind of taking one off there with that little wick high that had kind of wicked up before. And so I just wanted to make sure I got everything nice and booked. So I'm only down to my runner now. So I'm hoping to get that up to 6,900.
I think
good spot.
Get a nice little squeeze here.
And I've been having to wait for these slower trades. Last week was all about the scalps. So I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, the dog bark it definitely means long, especially if you're in a long.
And I am trailed now, so I'm trailed over break even.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Max does that sometimes just to get the other dogs riled up. So get them going. Here comes the squeeze, guys.
The dog controls the market. That's the way that is.
He is the market maker. He just pushes every other dog to bark at the same time. If we kind of get above that 81.25, I got a pivot point right there. I mean, if we get above that, it seems like all roads are kind of clear to 88, 90 level on the ES, but still just kind of holding up there for now.
Dog the operator, yeah.
Yeah, we went trick or treating. It was a lot of walking. I'm not.
Yeah, I was supposed to say, how did your weekend end up going after trick or treating?
Not a huge fan of it, but it's fun for the kids. It's all that matters. Because I'm a little bit. I stress. I don't like the. Have to keep my eyes peeled. Random truck driving down the road, stuff like that.
We went to a neighborhood that we have actually never been to before, but our friends live in, and they said it was great, and it was really busy, but it was really busy.
So Vari had no kids this year.
No kids. Well, nobody comes to my house either, but you can't. So
out in the country, come out there, wrangle the rattlesnakes, fight with the rats, pet the dogs, that sort of thing. Yeah, we are finally getting some continuation.
I went to Lowe's the other day, and there were cats running around in there, and I was like, oh wow, there's literally cats running around. And this guy that worked there was just standing there all casual. I was like, oh yeah, they deal with the rats now. They're way better than the exterminator. I was like, no shit, it's cats running around Lowe's.
That's hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen a cat running around a store. So.
Well, they were kind of playing around the Christmas trees, which I thought might be an issue, but I guess not. Not so far.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on putting up a Christmas tree now?
I'm waiting. It's always been a thing we do Thanksgiving week. Or if we're going to be gone Thanksgiving week and we want it up when we get back, we might do it the weekend before, but that's as far as I'll push it. And that's if we're going to be gone. This year we're hosting, so we're here.
Mr. Smith, are you eating the cats? He says fatten them up for Thanksgiving. Uh-oh. Can't be doing that. Cats are perfect. Oh, goodness.
My cats know better than to walk across the keyboard when I'm trading these days. They get in big trouble.
Yeah, if they
Yeah, they're
accidentally
eating the
press a button,
dogs. They're eating the cats.
that wouldn't be a good idea. I have to make
Oh,
sure
Wyatt,
everything's
you got your
logged
tree
out.
out already, huh?
Who has it out?
Wyatt has he had to get his tree down for his wife the other day.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll be putting mine up. I'll probably do it a little earlier this year than I normally do. Normally, kind of like you said, day after Thanksgiving, weekend after Thanksgiving, somewhere in there.
We still have Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving, Halloween stuff out. We got to deal with that first. I'm gonna change this thing on my screen so it shows where my runner is.
I didn't put anything out for Halloween, so
I didn't really want to because, like I said, like nobody comes here, but the kids were into it, so I let them pick, and they didn't go too crazy, thankfully. So.
see if we can get a run up into like the 110 area.
Have you gotten any good trades yet today?
I mean, I'll be honest. I like I said this morning, I started out. I took an aggressive long, and it didn't turn out too well. And then beyond that, yeah, I mean the trades have been fine. I'm green on my funded accounts around $42 per account, 44 on some, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So I think I'm up $200 on one eval. We did blow an eval, as you do.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, I mean, so it's an okay day. I mean, the fundeds are the accounts that I grade myself on typically. You know, if we blow the eval, it's okay. You just breathe and you just, you start over, you buy another. So
one of my goals this week is to trade a little bit more size than I've been doing because I'll get into a habit like earnings week. I don't like to size. I'm always sized down. And then we've had, government shutdown and FOMC last week. So it wasn't a size week for me. And I always have to kind of hype myself back into size a little bit. So that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, me too. I do think the way the market's been moving recently, that sizing up's not especially if you're feeling comfortable, there's nothing wrong with that. So it's not a bad thing per se. My size has kind of been down as well. So, but yeah, I don't mind sizing up a little bit, maybe take 5 micros, scale some off here or there.
Mr. Smith wants to know how long I can keep a funded account. Well, this is a little bit, you're not going to believe me. I have my first funded account. It's not my best. It's my lagging account because it ended up in drawdown. I don't trade it as much, but I do have funded account number 1 still going.
Well, you're not going to believe me either, but I actually buried my funded account out in the backyard. So
yeah, the third one I didn't keep. The first and the second one, I'm attached to them though, so I treat them real nice. I only put like the A pluses in them. I treat them more like my actual, the one that I put my money in. Bull Barbie funded.
Yeah, I didn't keep my first one. I think I probably blew it the same day. But the aggressiveness there is just insane. I don't know why I was so aggressive. No need to be.
I started out real slow with mine.